Good morning and welcome to the History Office News Bulletin for the day. This is Krishant for the day's news. Now the headlines. Congress moves no confidence motion against India government in Lok Sabha. Speaker admits motion. Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Sen to resign after 4 decades and his son will succeed. Colonization by the British, luckiest thing to happen to Australia, says John Howard. BCCI exploring alternatives for the India-Pakistan World Cup match date. Now the news in detail. Amid a stalemate in Parliament over the Manipur violence issue, Congress on July 26 moved a no-confidence motion against the government in the Lok Sabha. When the House met after the first adjournment at 12 noon, Party MP Gaurav Gogoi moved a no-confidence motion in the House. Speaker Om Birla admitted the motion, saying that he would discuss it with the leaders of all political parties and inform them about the appropriate time to discuss the motion. Earlier, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi asserted that people have confidence in Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP. Talking to the reporters outside Parliament, he said the opposition had brought a no-confidence motion in the last term and people had taught them a lesson. Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Sen, one of the world's longest-serving leaders, has announced he will resign and hand over to his son in early August. The anticipated announcement came 3 days after his party again won all seats at an uncompetitive election. Hun Sen, 70, has become increasingly authoritarian after nearly 4 decades of the rule in Cambodia. Hun Sen's eldest son, Hun Manet, until recently the commander of the Royal Cambodian Army, has long been groomed for the role. In his announcement, Hun Sen said his son would be appointed Prime Minister on 10th of August. Hun Sen said he would be stepping down as staying in office could cause instability. However, he will retain the leadership of the ruling Cambodian People's Party, a position political analysts say still gives him ultimate control. Earlier on Wednesday, state media showed Hun Sen visiting the Cambodian monarch's palace to announce the news of the dynastic succession. Colonization was the luckiest thing that happened to Australia, the nation's second longest serving Prime Minister John Howard has said. His remarks were made in relation to a historic referendum due to take place this year on Indigenous recognition. If successful, the vote will change Australia's contribution to give First Nations people a greater say over the laws and policies that affect them. But the debate has seen a surge of divisive commentary. Speaking to the Australian newspaper about the upcoming vote, Mr. Howard described colonization as inevitable. The Voice vote, Australia's first referendum since 1999, was announced by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese at the start of 2023. If passed, its supporters say it will lead to better outcomes for Australia's First Nation people who face lower life expectancy and disproportionately poorer health and education outcomes than other Australians. But those against it argue, among other things, that the Voice is a largely symbolic gesture that will fail to enact reforms while undermining Australia's existing government structures. The World Cup schedule may see a slight tweak following revelations that the Ahmedabad police have reportedly expressed their inability to provide security for the India-Pakistan game on October 15th as it coincides with the first day of the sacred Navaratri festival. The Board of Control for Cricket in India is believed to be exploring alternatives, one of them being to advance the match by a day to October 14. However, the option on the face of it is easier thought than implemented. With Pakistan playing a game against Sri Lanka in Hyderabad just 2 days earlier, on October 12th, it may not be possible for the team to play the high voltage game 48 hours later. It is expected that some sort of solution may be hammered out at the meeting of the hosting associations scheduled for Thursday in New Delhi. Before we end the news for the day, the headlines once again. Congress moves no confidence motion against India government in Lok Sabha. Speaker admits motion. Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Sen to resign after 4 decades and his son will succeed. Colonization by the British, luckiest thing to happen to Australia, says John Howard. BCCI exploring alternatives for the India-Pakistan World Cup match date. That's it from the news desk for the day. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. For more elaborate news, please subscribe to our channel, The History Office.